Hello everybody, what is going on? It's Dilly here coming at you with another video, and today we're going to be talking about Skater XL. The game was developed and produced by Easy Day Studios. This is the company's first released video game, and it puts players back on a skateboard for the first time since 2010 with the release of EA's cult classic Skate 3. Yeah, we don't talk about that. Skater XL just received its console release after being in early development purgatory since December of 2018. You can now play Skater XL on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and even Nintendo Switch. In today's video, I'll be playing the game and answering the question that many players, including myself, are asking. Is it better or just as good as Skate 3? I'm Dilly, and this is Skater XL. Right away, I can't help but noticing the game takes forever to boot up. I suppose this gives you some time to point out that this game was released just days before this video was posted, so if I come off as a bit nitpicky at any point during this review, I'm sure a lot of minor issues will be resolved with upcoming patches. Once the game boots up, you're taken to a quick tutorial that covers basic gameplay elements such as ollies, kick flips, pushing, braking, etc. It's also here that players will realize the controls actually differ quite a bit from skating games of years past. Instead of doing certain button combos or stick flicking to do tricks, the two analog sticks control the left and right foot respectively, and the bumpers control the skater's steering. Quite frankly, if you hadn't played the game before its console release and you were expecting a Skate 3 clone when you bought the game, you couldn't be farther from right. While Skater XL looks nearly identical to Skate 3, its controls are drastically different, and this will throw the average gamer for a loop very early on. After the tutorial, you're teleported to one of the game's 8 maps, Easy Day High School. It's a high school setting equipped with basketball and volleyball courts, school buildings, bus lanes, tons of parking lot space, and a plethora of ramps and rails to satisfy the player's need to jump off and grind on things. Along with a fair amount of playable areas, there's quite a few areas that are just totally off limits, including a football field and an ungodly amount of low poly backdrop. If I'm being honest, I was kinda blown away with how unpolished the surroundings were. Buildings inside of other buildings, areas that just lacked the ground for whatever reason, and a mediocre render of mountains enclosing the area. The map overall is mediocre at best, but on the bright side, it's a large area to get your footing, which is appreciated. I was just expecting a little more is all. The game also features a character selection option in the pause menu, but be wary, because the first time I tried to open it, it led to a never-ending loading screen, causing me to restart the application mere minutes after I started. Once you reach the character selection screen, you're met with real-life skaters, Evan Smith, Tom Asta, Brandon Westgate, and Tiago Lemos. The game also features a custom skater option for both men and women skaters. Each creation suite houses limited options of customization. You can choose between 4 different skin tones for your character, but there's no option to change your character's body size or facial features, which is a bit of a downer. You get to choose from 8 different hairstyles, each with 3 color variations, and then you're on to clothing. You can choose from an assortment of different hats, shirts, pants, and shoes. Impressively, Skater XL was able to snag deals with legitimate skating brands such as Blind, Almost, and Spitfire, among many others. You also get to customize your board with your own deck, trucks, wheels, and even custom grip tape, which was a feature missing from Skate 3. Once you're all decked out in some new threads, you're ready to skate through the game's 8 different maps. 8 maps is actually a pretty small amount compared to skate games of the past, which is unfortunate, but some of the maps are actually really cool. For options, you have the 5 official maps along with 3 community maps added for the console launch. The maps range from the streets of LA to various other locations, including skate parks and even the big ramp, which I'll be putting emphasis on seeing as it's a monster of a ramp, in the same vein of Danny Way's Super Ultra Mega Park from the skate games. The big ramp itself is solid. It's got a few cool spots and lots of opportunity for killer air. I can't harp on the ramp itself too much as it does the job and allows players to do some pretty sick tricks and even grind the big rail if they're lucky enough. But one area of complaint is the area surrounding the ramp. The game allows you to explore a great area of desert plain before you reach the invisible walls that confine you. Unfortunately, around the ramp are a plethora of bugs. There's rocks that lack texture, so you can seemingly just skate right through them. The side of the ramp itself has a part of wood you can just go through with no questions asked. The water tower on the other side of the map has invisible walls which restrict you from going through it, and last but not least, let's talk about the building. Next to the water tower is a building that it just allows you to clip through and out of it with ease. At this point, I'm starting to really question the legitimacy of this game, and I think it may be time to get into the pros and cons of Skater XL. After playing the game for a few hours, this is the list of the pros and cons I've accumulated from my own experience. So without any further ado, let's get into the pros. First off, the game looks great for the most part. The skater models themselves are very solid, and excluding the crappy backdrops and low-res background buildings, the areas of play themselves are pretty good, if not boring from time to time. Next, the game itself is very unique. Quite frankly, there's never been another game like it. The left and right foot controls are pretty solid once you get the hang of them, and while the tricks themselves don't have animations per se, the movements are normally crisp. And last but not least, Skater XL fills the void of a current gen skateboarding game. No, not you! For what the game is, whether it be good or bad in your eyes, I'm just happy it exists, quite frankly. But now, the part of the video I've dreaded the most, let's talk about the cons. We've already talked about the game's untextured areas, awful backdrops, and that god-awful building, so those all make the list, but sadly, there's more. The game is pretty damn buggy. In just one day of playing this game, I've encountered many glitches on and off camera. Whether it be the animations, the parks themselves, everything. The game was released with enough bugs to keep a goddamn exterminator busy for a decade. Next is the price point of the game. Now, I paid $50 Canadian for this game, and that isn't bad seeing as new games can charge up to $100 plus, but for a game with limited maps, difficult controls, a piss-poor creation suite, and one of the most repetitive and low-key annoying soundtracks I've ever heard, it honestly isn't worth it. Hell, if they cut the price in half, I still would have been slightly disappointed. There was honestly a point where I thought to myself that it felt like I was playing the game's demo or a game's beta, because honestly, this game does not feel like a finished product whatsoever. I'm sure a lot of work went into this game, don't get me wrong, but the fact that they've had nearly 2 years to polish this game and make it the best they could, there's no reasonable excuse for the game having as many issues as it does on launch day. I could keep going on for days about little issues I had with the game, but I'm gonna put a cap on it for now. Overall, what do I think? Should you buy it if you haven't yet? Honestly, if you can deal with the bugs and not sweat the little things, and you feel like you'd be willing to put countless hours into the game to master the controls, feel free. I understand that skateboarding games are hard to come by these days, but if I were you, honestly, I'd dust off the PS3 and play Skate 3 again until the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remasters are released later this year. It honestly sucks to say that because I've been waiting years for this game to release on PS4, like I'm sure a lot of you had, but the end result kinda made it feel all for nothing. Yes, the game works, and yes, it's playable, but does it live up to the hype? Is it better or as good as Skate 3? You want the real answer? No, not at all. Well, that brings us to the final part of this video, and that's the rating. With everything considered, the bad parts of this game heavily outweigh the good things, but with that said, it's still semi-enjoyable, and I look forward to the day the patches start rolling in, but until then, I have to give the game a flimsy 2.5 out of 5 stars. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think of Skater XL in the comments below, or send me a message over on Instagram at thisisdilly. Also, make sure to check out Dilly Plays, where I'll be posting a Let's Play Skater XL video in the coming week. Links, of course, in the description. And as always, I've been your host, Dilly. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more, and click the bell icon for the love of God so you know every time I post. I love you all very much. I've been your host, Dilly, signing out.